We have not been recording. I apologize, man.
You should have AI'd that shit.
I should have.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
You said we were hot.
I clicked it and holy hell.
So it's just looking at us and it's not recording? How do you know? I mean, dumb question. How do you know we're not recording?
Because the counter's not going. It's going up now. It's going up now.
Good thing we didn't talk about anything.
Oh my God. What do we do now? Welcome to ShiftLess, episode 129. Holy.
Oh, there went your raise. I think we're gonna have to write you up over this. Send you to HR after we get done podcasting.
Yeah. Well, we're just gonna forget we talked about all that stuff and just talk about totally other new stuff.
I'm perfectly okay with that.
Because we can't bring it up again. It'll sound fake and forced. But I will say this: episode 129, not brought to you by Rolex.
Rolex.
I wonder if Haas still has his Rolex.
Who?
Remember Haas trying to sell his Rolex?
Yeah. Golly, talk about a throwback. God, did he get some shit?
Well, if y'all didn't pick up on it, we've been recording air quotes for 40 minutes or so, and just realized that I didn't hit record. So it happens.
You're so pretty.
It took 129 episodes to do this, though. Actually, more than that, because we have a couple in the can that never got released.
Yeah.
So
back to 32ers.
Back to 32ers.
I think, no pun intended, I think they have more traction than a lot of people are giving them credit for.
Well, they're obviously going to have more traction. They got more footprint.
But that's not what I intended to mean. I think that they are going to.
That's cloud can stay right there. But anyway,
I think in the 2 to 5 year from right now range, we're going to see 32ers from big box brands.
I think. Well, okay. I don't disagree. I think there's a 32-inch coming out this year from the big box brand, and that's what all this 32-inch hype is about. Somebody's paid off the industry. We really got to talk 32. But
32 is relatively not a new thing.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Somebody that starts with a T or an S or maybe a G, but probably T or S, probably T.
Probably S. My money's on S.
Is coming out with a 32-inch bike or two this year. And that's why everybody's talking 32 as much as they are, is the industry needs their next big thing. They keep chasing their next big thing. That's why, again, it's why,
and we have talked about that before.
It's why 27.5, 650B was, they were forcing it. Fat bikes, they were forcing it.
Boy, 650B was a flash in the pan, huh?
Deservedly so.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not championing it.
Yeah, no, it's like,
especially at 6'3", it made zero sense for me.
And I'm happy to be proven wrong. I think 32 is going to prove to be the same thing. I don't.
At 650B?
Maybe even worse.
So we had this discussion last night. Here's what I think about 32. At the very least, I am super interested to ride one, but just from the perspective of North Shore, West Side, 32 probably not an asset. East Side, probably very enjoyable to ride. That's my thought. Okay. And I'm thinking about a single speed mindset. However, if you make it a hardtail and you go throw gears on there, throw it, pie plate.
But nobody rides hardtails.
Eagle. I think granted, there's not near as many, but I think there is a slight, at least anecdotally, in my circle, I see slightly more people going to hardtails. I mean, it's a small percentage, but
I think the 32-inch market is more likely gravel than mountain bike, to be honest with you. It's in lieu of a full suspension gravel bike, let's do a 32-inch tire with better rollover.
I think it probably will be the best application for a 32. obviously there's going to be some geometry hiccups along the way.
And that's going to be the big stumbling block on it. And here's my guess. My guess is at Sea Otter, no later than Unbound, one of the big names will be on a 32. And Sea Otter would actually be a pretty good location for it.
So here's the big question. Money on the barrelhead. When will we see a pro level rider in a race on a 32?
I'm saying Sea Otter or Unbound.
Oh, you're saying not just unveiling. You're saying there's going to be someone racing.
One of the big riders will be on a 32-inch big name bike at one of those events is my guess. No inside knowledge, just this contrived hype on the 32 that's out there right now that's so obviously being pushed by somebody in the industry.
Yeah, if nothing else, it's going to garner a lot of coverage.
Exactly. And and we're back to the natural fit if that.
Who is Keegan with now?
Specialized. That's the ideal fit for that contrived.
Who is Trek's poster boy now?
I don't even know.
That's what I'm saying. I think Specialized is going to be first to market with a.
I think that's the most likely scenario, but it's all just guesstimating.
Yeah. I think 32ers are here to stay at least for a while, and I think we're going to see a big blow up.
I mean, just if they make the molds, they're here to stay for a while. It's going to be how successful do they end up being.
Well, the tire's been out for 2.5 years. Okay. You know,
so it'll be hot to trot for a year or two, and it'll be let's see what the staying power is after that. And that's if a big name brand and a big name racer goes out, particularly if a big name racer wins with it. Yeah, there'll be 2 years of everybody going 32.
In the words of Gorilla, 32 is a fad.
I think the gravel bike is the more likely scenario. It does make more sense there.
I'm wondering about the aero implications from a Dylan Johnson standpoint, because once they get the geometry figured out, it would make sense that the drop bars are going to be further into the cockpit, if that makes sense.
Right.
And so the overall bike, even though it's larger in format, the overall aero footprint could be diminished ever so slightly, if I'm thinking about it right. And
just basically a super tuck position the whole time.
100%. That's what I'm thinking. And then obviously we know from a 26 to 29 standpoint that once you get those 29er wheels spun up, they want to stay spinning more with less effort versus a 26. And I would have to imagine that that's going to translate into a 32 in the same sense, especially from a gravel standpoint. Now, it's obviously going to be negated when you're climbing because you're going to have to get those big rotational weights moving. Now. Oh, good job. Good job. Way to show up. But I would imagine that, for a relatively flatter gravel course, and even when you start to talk about chunk, I would imagine that a 32er with the proper geometry and the proper fit would probably offer a slight advantage.
I think a bigger tire wheel combo on gravel makes more sense than a full suspension gravel myself. But I also think that can still be accomplished just with bigger tires on a 29 or 700, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but then you're just spreading your footprint instead of elongating it. And you're not talking about the gyroscopic effect.
I don't dispute that. I think just the limitations in availability of different tires, different wheels, and all that, it would be years before the 32 really catches up.
Tires are in the pipeline, guaranteed.
Okay. We'll see.
And in fact,
I'm happy to be proven wrong.
I'm going to go even further.
Hot sports opinion.
I'm going to go even further and say, if Specialized is first to market with a big box brand 32, they are also going to unveil a 32-inch tire.
I think that's a fair assumption.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assumption. But it doesn't mean it's the right 32-inch tire.
No, of course not.
So,
I mean, you remember the first 29-inch tires that came out? They were trash for years, you know? But we were also going through a lot of growing pains as far as tubeless at the same time.
yes.
You know, so I think maybe tire technology is a lot more understood. Now, here's where it gets really awesome, is if Schwalbe steps into the game and comes out with a radial 32-inch
I forgot
tire,
about the radials.
then we're going to really be talking about a beautiful, beautiful
I
marriage.
forgot about those radials.
Mhm. Have you put hands on one of those?
No,
yet?
I have not.
I can't say enough good things about it, and I don't understand why there's not more hype about them, other than there's, at the current time, there is a weight penalty for the radial technology, and that's why it's been relegated to enduro and e-bikes and
but
stuff.
then
But I think the 32 negates that. Yeah.
well, but there you go again. I mean,
Mhm.
how much more weight are we talking for a 32-inch Racer Boy gravel bike?
If you,
It's going to be a couple pounds at least.
but here's the thing: if we rewind,
Just as weight weenie as those guys are.
but think about this: if you rewind, let's call it 8 years ago, just to stay out of the 6, 7 bullshit. If you rewind like 8 years ago, before mainstream wireless components and the ubiquitous carbon hoops out of China and various other weight saving overall net components, and you compare a 29-inch gravel bike to what could feasibly be, like, let's talk about a carbon fork and a carbon frame 32 with carbon bars, carbon hoops, and probably a carbon seat post, and like a, specialized mirror carbon saddle. You could be talking about commensurate weights here. Wireless components, no cables, still you got to run a brake.
Just from the more rubber for the tire,
Mhm.
the more material for the wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to be
Longer
It's
spokes.
going to be that's wheel. I'm
Yeah.
lumping it all
Fair,
together.
fair. But same
but-
bottom bracket, same crank, same
Okay,
pedals,
but
same saddle.
you're gonna have that much more weight on each leg of the fork. You're gonna have a little bit more weight on the stays.
Well, currently they're setting them up at 29-inch forks.
and-
There's not a 32-inch fork. That's why all the forks that people are running on 32s are rigid. So you're looking at an Envy fork with a 470 axle to crown height, and it fits a 32-inch comfortably.
So it's going to be same fork geometry, same rake and everything like that.
At current
Well,
status.
that to make it work, but once again, that's undialed geometry at that point.
100%, yeah. But shorter seat posts, you can save some weight there.
Okay.
Just saying. Just saying.
All right. I will give you that. You will save a little weight at the seat
And shorter
post.
head tube.
All right. So, all right. Maybe. Yeah. We'll see.
It's going to be a fun thing to spectate.
It's going to be interesting, and I'm not saying I'm a hater of the concept.
I have to give you credit because you predicted this probably a year and a half ago. You said the bike industry is struggling to find the next thing, the next standard, the next because N+1 is turning into e-bike only. You said, so I'm paraphrasing, but you said the industry is looking for the next N+1. And this is obviously
I think this is somebody's idea of what the next N+1 is, and I get it.
And it's going to snowball. It's going to keep gaining more and more attention.
I don't think it will. Will it get exposure, and will it be a hype thing for a year or two? Yes.
It's going to be a buzzword.
There's
if not at Sea Otter.
There's no doubt. I agree completely there. Will it last more than a couple years? That's all I'm getting at. I
think 5 years from now, 2031, Jesus, we will 32 or will be bigger than 27.5. No pun intended again, and will be a staple.
I'm going to disagree.
Okay.
It
Always the contrary.
It could potentially become the gravel racing platform of choice. I see that as a possibility, not likely, but a possibility. I don't think it'll get anywhere in mountain biking, to be honest with you.
Because why?
Because mountain biking is going all e-bike anyway. Again, we're back to nobody's riding hardtail mountain bike. No new bike customers are buying hardtails. There might be some old school guys that rode hardtails in the past, went full suspension, and maybe they might think about going back to hardtail. But anybody that's come to the mountain bike market in the past 10 years, it is not going to do anything but full suspension.
But think about downhill guys ripping, sending huge jumps. A 32 inch is going to... Now, the inherent problem here is how do you build a 32 inch wheel as stiff and compliant as a 29er for lateral loads?
And
And I'm not a wheel builder.
No, I understand. And again, when particularly if it's a 50-pound bike,
I don't think that's accurate. I think you could probably, like I said, if one of the big box brands comes out with a carbon frame, I think.
No, I'm talking about an e-bike.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Actually works. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm talking about there's no reason for the e-bike mountain bike market to go up to 32. They would rather spend the money on more battery or more motor.
I think they'll be the last to adopt.
Well, but that is the mountain bike market right now.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Sure. As far as just gross numbers, yes.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I think the only true market potential for 32 right now is gravel racers. And personally, I think that's a market that's diminishing as well. I could be proven wrong.
Yeah.
I could be proven wrong. And we'll find out here this year. I'm bringing back racing into the Spinistry fold. We kind of put it on hold last year, and I'm starting to reintroduce it this year as more of a thing. But we'll see what the racer vibe is going forward. I'm curious how it's really going along those lines.
There's already 20 exciting new 32-inch MTB and gravel bikes. 117-mile gravel race on a Clydesdale BFG 32er. 32-inch gravel bikes are here. Bitchin' bikes. Our 32-inch bikes the future.
Yeah.
Look, gravel bikes on dirt jumps. 32-inch taper cast loves it.
When the big brand comes out with the 32, then we'll really analyze it and talk about it then.
Yeah. Oh no, we're talking about it right now.
We're talking about it, but I don't think the custom builders and the one-off brands are going based on discussions about those.
No, but they're always the canary in the coal mine.
I don't think as much.
Bullshit. 30. Think about the evolution of 29. Who brought 29ers to the market first?
Gary Fisher.
Not true. Not true.
But he was the one that created Fisher. The Fishers were the one that created the interest in 29ers. Were there other manufacturers or builders that?
But you're skirting the question. What I'm saying
I don't
is
know.
Custom builders and boutique builders were the first people to make 29ers. They were the first ones to embrace it and lean into it. And then the big brands, as always, followed suit.
I don't think that's what's happening in this. I think
that's
that was
exactly what's happening. That's what we're talking about.
I think that was a different bike market then. I think that,
but it doesn't matter. The playbook is still the same.
No, it's not, because I think the 32 inch has been in development by the big brand for years, and that's part of why hoops and tires were starting to become available, and the custom builders are now kind of filling the vacuum of the frame's not here yet, but there are parts we can use, and so they're starting to put together the frames that can use those parts. But the momentum was started by whichever big brand is going to be launching.
It sounds like a conspiracy theory.
I'm not saying it's conspiracy.
But I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm not saying it's a conspiracy theory. I'm saying...
Well, you're saying big brands or big boxes are conspiring to hype up the market by funneling into these smaller...
They're not... No. You're misinterpreting what I'm saying.
Okay.
Is the smaller producers saw there was an opportunity. Oh, here's a wheel I can use for a 32 inch. Here's a tire I can use. They were able to take advantage of molds starting to be created and things like that before the big brand is able to release their product. In order for the big brand, and I'm going to say
the big three.
Parentheses S, there's more than one big brand that's working on it. I'm certain of that. They had to start putting pieces in place in order for their production bike to come out. And that's a multi-year process. During their multi-year process, these manufacturers of tires, wheels, whatever else, they have test product of it. They're wanting to put it out to the custom builders. Hey, we have this wheel, try it out, because we need to see how it works in the real world. So that, they meet them at the trade show. Hey, tell you what, I'll give you 5 sets of these if you make 5 bikes or whatever. And that's the beta testing.
But my argument stands. I think that the 29er developed the same way. I mean, Specialized didn't come out with the 29er until
I think
4 or 5 years after 29er was borderline mainstream.
I agree with that, but the 29er came about from the get-go from the custom builder, in that basically because it was off of a 700 wheel to begin with. What if we took one of these 700 wheels and put it on a mountain bike? Sort of thing. And they had the flexibility to do that. And yes, they started doing that, where did BMX bikes come from? People took their old Schwinn Stingrays, took everything off of it and put knobby tires on. That was the first BMX.
That's where
bike.
Mountain bikes came from too.
Clunkers, yeah. Same thing.
It's always been the garage tinkerers that innovate.
To some there's been 32 and 36 inch wheel bikes out for decades now in one form or another. People have been custom.
Not 32, but 36. But all of that translated over from the unicycle world.
Right. That's my, so there's been stuff floating around for this concerted effort that you're seeing in the past literally 12 months. It's really the past 6.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not all of a sudden all these people have 32 inch bikes that we're seeing out on we're here. Oh, I heard about this guy that is riding RCP on his. It's not. It's just at the manufacturer. It's at the builder level now. It's not in the market at all, hardly. And for that much hype to be on it, that's being driven by the manufacturers. That is being driven by the manufacturers.
But I still contend that 29er evolved in the same fashion. You're saying that the driving factor is different in this scenario.
I am.
Okay.
I am saying that because the 29er evolution, that didn't take place over 6 months or 12 months.
No, it was very slow to grab traction. The cycling market was much smaller at that point.
That's actually questionable, but
when did the Karate Monkey come out? Because I would say that the Karate Monkey was the first.
No,
I can't even type.
The Fisher Super Caliber stuff was.
No, Karate Monkey came out first.
It did?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Okay, maybe.
When did Karate Monkey come out? I can't even spell Karate Monkey.
And you realize that you're using AI now.
Oh shit! I won't read that. The Karate Monkey, as shown at Interbike in 2002.
Okay.
When
did Gary Fisher
first look? Karate Monkey 27.5 and 2017 Troll. Karate Monkey colors over the years.
So Karate Monkey was always 29er. That was before my time. The
Karate Monkey debuted at Interbike in 2002. Let's see. Remember that 2002. When did?
But was that a 29er in 2002?
Yeah, Karate Monkey's always been. That's 29er. What I
just asked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see.
When was Gary Fisher's first 29er?
When did Gary Fisher 29er?
I thought he did them in 99 or 2000, but I could be wrong.
Gary Fisher 29er come out 99 2000. Okay. What was the first Gary Fisher 29er bike? Super Caliber. Oh, nope. 2002, Gary Fisher introduces the first mass-produced 29er mountain bikes. Super Caliber 29.
That was but that was the mass-produced, but he was doing them as Gary Fisher prior to that. Super Caliber was when he was aligned with Trek. As Gary Fisher, before he became Trek, he was doing 29ers. That was my understanding. So Super Caliber was under the Trek label. Prior to that, it was Gary Fisher being Gary Fisher, I think. But I could be, I guarantee you Ted's going to have an accurate story on
So
it.
99, 2000, starting out with Gary Fisher's first 29er, which was drawn up and made in Steve Potts' custom bicycle shop. Gary had in mind to do a direct comparison between a 26-inch and a 29-inch wheeled mountain bike. His goal was to keep everything he could the same between the two bikes: geometry, head angles, chainstay lengths, blah, blah, blah.
Which was fundamentally a mistake, but anyway.
100%, yeah. It has come to light that Slate and Fisher dubbed the tires a 29-inch tire. This according to a Facebook post by Gary himself under his name. But here's the other question, because I always understood that Wes Williams first.
I mean, again, I'm sure there's custom builders that have been doing 700 wheeled mountain bikes for years before that, but Gary Fisher was the one that really started evangelizing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that turned into the Super Caliber as the first mass-produced one. But, evidently, Karate Monkey was about the same year. Realistically, Super Caliber had a lot more market penetration than the Karate Monkey did the first X number of years. And they both had a tendency to fail at the chainstays on a super regular basis.
100%.
And there'll be growing pains like that with the 32s as well. Well, is it going to take them 15 years to get the geometry dialed in? No.
Nah.
It's going to take them 3 to 5.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that at all.
I don't know. I think, with all the technological advances in CAD and I forgot what it's called when you can test stuff in the computer before you actually build it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then with AI and everything else, I think that they can probably dial in the geometry a lot quicker virtually before it's produced. So I think the learning curve is going to be a lot quicker. I don't think it's going to take 3 to 5 years to dial in geometry. I think give it another year or two. Excuse me. I don't know. We'll see. Either way,
It's going to be fascinating.
it's going to be the
And I'll be
popcorn
honest,
can't get cooked quick enough.
I'll be honest with you. It may drive away the last 6 listeners we have.
Mm-hmm.
But I would rather talk about 32-inch bikes each episode than e-bikes myself.
Fair. Yeah, because it's interesting. It's going to be constantly evolving, and I think it's going to be much like 29-inch was. It's going to be somewhat polarizing at the very beginning, to say the least, because I think you're going to have Luddites that are going to be anti-32 just based on, we don't need another wheel size, or I'm perfectly happy with my 29 or whatever argument you want to stand on.
Right.
But, and this is going to sound contradictory to my own statement earlier, but I think it's fascinating because it's something new and I'm very interested in it, unlike the AI argument I made earlier.
That nobody's ever going to hear.
Yeah. So I'm not contradicting myself on the record.
No.
But
no.
I, at the very least, I'm fascinated to see what becomes.
I am fascinated. I am 100%. I'll give it a 1% chance. I'm 99% convinced it's not the salvation that the bicycle industry's hoping for, striving for, or whatever manufacturers keen in on it.
But at the least, it's going to create more press.
It will
put more eyes on bikes and
stimulate. Maybe
it's going to stimulate the bike market.
I don't think that non-bicycle riders it's gonna register with them at all.
No,
and
this is a bike nerd mental masturbation thing.
And that's my whole point. That bike nerd market gets smaller and smaller every day. They got to figure out how to make the bike nerd market bigger and bigger. Not so much get the smaller pie of bike nerds buying more stuff themselves. They have to figure out how to broaden that appeal.
I want to know what Dylan Johnson thinks about 32.
I was just about to go there. the Dylan Johnson content on it's
gonna be worth the price of admission.
It's gonna be
period.
fantastic. It's gonna be fantastic.
And I have a feeling that he is not going to play the middle. He is going to.
He's going to lean one way or the other.
He's either going to completely shit on it or think, "Oh, this is going to be the."
But it also wouldn't be shocking for Dylan to be the first on the 32.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Well, okay, let's look at it.
My money's on Keegan Swinson.
So
on a specialized 32-inch bike.
But maybe that's the 2027 plan. Maybe they do need the test roll. And who's a better test roller? Because Dylan's not in the Grand Prix.
But the thing is, if you'll remember,
and didn't he get everybody on 2-inch tires this year?
He has really pioneered a lot of different thought processes in a culturally kind of frozen development era.
Nobody stirred the pot better than Dylan has.
Yeah. And I don't think it was with intent, at least at first. I think maybe he started pushing things a little bit further just to see. But I mean, there's an argument to be made that he was responsible for a lot of people going to drop bar mountain bikes in a racing format. Not to say that he invented the drop bar mountain bike or anything that
he popularized it.
He definitely made it more mainstream. But there's been, I mean, the Fargo's been a drop bar mountain bike for who knows how long.
It's been my preferred platform for 15 years now.
Love it. But it would make sense. But I do want to say this. It is not uncommon for a big brand producer, once again, Specialized or Trek or Giant, to debut a prototype in a race to create buzz and hype.
And Sea Otter's the ideal environment.
Exactly. I mean, there's been brake manufacturers, component manufacturers. I mean, think about Explorer was debuted at Unbound, the 13-speed gravel-specific components. That was debuted as a prototype at Unbound,
right?
And it was in similar fashion to create hype. And everybody wants to know what the black box components and stuff that the pros are riding, because it's just like F1. All that shit trickles down. Every time new XTR rolls out.
But see, that's where it is different, though. In F1, it all trickles down. Because everybody has a car.
I'm talking about in the bike industry.
I understand, and that's the core of the core is the existing bike industry is so minuscule. It's so tiny, and they have to figure out a way to grow the overall industry.
It's so crazy how small the bike industry is, yet how fragmented it is, because there's so many branches of cycling, as we've discussed before, because you can just take road bikes as a standalone and talk about how different road bikes can be and how many different road biker kind of mentalities there are: long distance, fast, sprinting, crit. It's just, and that's just the road bike component.
Right, but
then you get into mountain biking, and it's even more fact.
Yes, at the end user level, it's a little more diverse, but when you take it up to the industry level, it's such a small network where
you're talking about people. I'm talking about components and bikes and
but
the breadth of bikes that there are. You know?
But it's the group that's driving all that is a very, very small group, and ultimately speaking, and they all do know each. Did you see the Burn Peak video about the guy that was pretending to be him and scamming e-bikes and stuff like that? You need to watch that. So basically, there was a guy using AI in a malicious manner that was pretending to be Seth from Burn Peak, and soliciting demo bikes and stuff like free bikes and things like that. And essentially, the guy Seth has that does all of his administrative stuff for him is somebody that comes from the industry, and they start getting questions about, oh, well, I'm glad Seth's coming on board with us now, but after our last discussion, I didn't think we were a good fit for each other, blah, blah, blah. and it just got all around the industry in like 5 days, and the FBI is involved in everything.
So
like that.
he found out because someone reached back out to him directly instead of following the communication path that had been established through this guy with the AI.
One of the guys goes, "This doesn't sound right. This isn't the person I should be talking to with Seth. I should be talking." So that guy reaches out to Seth's assistant, for lack of a better term.
Thank God someone had some wherewithal to them to go, this doesn't pass the sniff test.
But that was the whole point of the
Who knows
video.
how long it could have went on.
But that was Seth's point. It's like there was no way this industry is so small. Everybody knows each other that this guy had a few bikes from some Chinese brands and off the wall independent manufacturers on the e-bike side of things, but then he started going after the real players
like Amflow and
Salsa and other stuff too. And
I'll have to watch that video.
once it got to that level, it blew up in like 2 days.
I like his content. I enjoy his videos, but his personality irks me a little bit, and I can't put my finger on it. He's kind of comes across as a little whiny, and like I said, I can't put my finger on it. It's just his mannerism voice
I think it's just you develop a character, and
I think he leans into it a little.
Well, no, you have to be that for that type of content. You can never be pleasing to everybody.
Sure.
But you have to be consistent. So the people that you're a good fit for find you that way.
Don't misconstrue it. I would love to sit down and chat with him and love to have a beer with him.
And I wasn't taking that as criticism. It's the same as, well, Spinistry, we do our events this way. It's not for everybody. For the people it's a good fit for, fantastic. For the people we're not a good fit for, hey, there's plenty of other stuff out there for you to do.
And it's the same thing with, and I can never remember his name, forgive me, but the guy from bikepacking.com, his video.
I can never remember his name.
I think it's Tyler or something.
I don't think so, but
but
maybe it is.
I enjoy his videos, but sometimes he's so quirky. He's like, and he does the facial expressions and stuff. And sometimes I'm like, this is a lot, But I do enjoy how thorough content is, both Seth and bikepacking.com guy.
Right.
I enjoy both of their content, and I love I would say bikepacking.com has better production quality. His videos are a lot more tight. He does a lot more deep diving and does a lot more charting and graphing, and he gets in the weeds a lot more,
Yeah, it's just different styles.
Yeah. But both of them, when I watch too many of their videos, their personalities kind of hurt me a little bit.
Can you imagine what people say about our personalities?
Yeah.
The 5 people.
Probably even worse. They probably hate us. They're probably like, I would watch bikepacking.com and Burn Peak Express on nonstop repeat, playing in tandem at the same time for here to eternity than listen to another Spinistry episode.
Oh, gee, thanks. Oh, my God. Putting it all on me.
Speaking of which, I just noticed your hat a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Is that a prototype?
Is
this the big brand revealing its prototype?
No. This one sucks. This is me. Feed. Give me shit on this hat. I don't like it.
Here's the idea I had though. As I was looking at it, you may or may not remember this, but you remember when Troy Lee was trying to become a huge brand? Yeah. Remember when people would take the Troy Lee stickers and they would layer them, or they would bend them in the middle so they stuck together, and they would have like a fin, and they would do like mohawks and stuff, and so they would get this layered look of stickers. I was thinking it would be cool to have this, like have the logo in the middle, but then have like this peek out behind, like almost like someone started with a sticker here and a sticker here and layered and layered and layered and layered until they converged, and then there was a ShiftLess sticker on top. I think that would be very cool, and it would give it a bigger front appeal.
So this was a sample hat, and it was from Sticker Mule. So every once in a while, I get an email. Hey, do you want to try a test of this product or that product? So it's like I took them up on it, and it's like
if it was a Richardson, it would be a better looking hat altogether.
I mean, I just don't like the logo. It looked like somebody put a sticker on it.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like lean into it, do the layered look, and it would.
I'm not worried about it. It's like this was a failed experiment, but I have a hat.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I would love to.
Actually, the hat itself is very comfortable.
Yeah.
This is like one of the most comfortable hats I've had on my head in a while. But again, I think I would almost rather wear a feed podium hat than this one.
That's a bold move, Cotton. Wow, talk about eating crow.
Hey, I own it, man.
Send us some hats, Feed. I'll wear one on the podcast. I will wear one for 10 episodes if you send me one.
Are making my nose itch so much. Oh, I have a request.
Okay.
Would it be possible
It's always possible.
to get
Manifest
6
it.
loaves of sourdough from you next week?
Next week, when-ish.
Friday-ish or Saturday morning-ish?
That's a tough. I've got a dinner. I've got a full house dinner next weekend.
Does sourdough freeze?
I would prefer not to.
Oh, that's okay. Never mind then. Don't worry about it.
But I do have a solution.
Don't worry about it.
Let me think about it. I'm going to tell you yes, and then let's figure out the logistics, because in lieu of freezing sourdough, there is a beautiful technique for reviving a day-old, 2-day-old sourdough, where you would never even know that it was cooked 2 days ago.
We'll talk about that.
Oh no, I'm going to throw this tip out there. real quick, 'cause
okay.
It's a super cool tip.
Oh, man.
If you have a loaf of sourdough, preferably untouched, that is a day old, 2 days old, it's going to sound crazy, but
I'm all ears.
400 to 425 degree oven, you take your sourdough loaf, run it underwater, get the entire surface wet,
Okay.
top, bottom, sides, everything,
Okay.
throw it in the oven for about 10 minutes, and you could Pepsi challenge that shit with a fresh loaf, and you would not know the difference.
Okay.
Crust, cut, crumb, everything spot on.
Okay.
So that's a possibility.
All right.
Yeah, I think I could do it.
All right. We'll figure out the details on that.
You probably need butter too.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
You're not going to buy store-bought butter to serve with my sourdough. What are you doing with said sourdough?
It's going to be part of a podium gift pack for the winners next weekend.
Need butter.
Okay.
You can't have homemade sourdough without homemade butter.
Okay.
And I'm about to start making cultured butter.
If I would not argue if butter was along for the ride.
What is bread without butter?
Hey, I know I'm putting a bunch on you. I wasn't trying to overload you. So.
In my opinion, bread is the vessel to deliver the butter.
I don't argue with that logic in any way, shape, or form.
Mm.
So, sourdough trophies.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a whole lot.
Let's talk about that February 21st.
Okay.
When I asked if you might be able to.
What day of the week is that again?
It's a Saturday.
Okay. Well, I don't. Luckily, I have February. I just announced my February dinners and my February pasta class. And so I'm doing a dinner, obviously, on Valentine's Day. And then my next dinner is on
This episode 129 brought to you by FAM.
Yeah.
Are there still spots available for Feb 14?
Yeah. So I only posted them. I haven't even announced it yet.
Okay.
I just posted Tuesday. Either Monday or Tuesday, yesterday. But I haven't announced it on Facebook or sent out an email. I was just going to sit on it for a couple of days and see how it went organically. But my dates in February, I've got a pasta class on the 5th.
Pasta class on the 5th.
Because the thought process was, we always do classes on Thursday, but I wanted people to be able to take the class at least a week before Valentine's Day, so they could learn how to make pasta and hopefully practice maybe once before Valentine's Day. That way, if they wanted to make pasta for their significant other or with their significant other, then they would have the ability to do that while it's still fresh on the brain.
Okay.
Then we're going to do a dinner on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day dinner, the 14th, for up to 20 people?
I have 22 slots for
22
Valentine's Day
slots.
because I figure the majority of Valentine's Day bookings will be couples. And then to me, the premier spot in the whole house is sitting at the bar right in front of my station. You get a front row seat to all the activity. To me, that's an upgrade to sit there. Like if I came here and experienced one of my dinners, that's where I would argue and fight to sit. But
Can I dibs it?
You can. You're first to say it. And then we have another dinner on the 28th. So the 21st, I'm wide open, and I think we could definitely figure something out.
All right. So
Make it happen.
here's what I got going.
Talk to me, Goose.
All right. So brand new event for Spinistry, Butterfield Buster out of Whitesboro. And you've been on some of these roads with me. I think when we did one of our scouting trips, we checked out some of the old Butterfield
Yes.
routes, and the long route does go into Oklahoma on this and returns to Whitesboro.
Is that some of the stuff we scouted with the exposed rock and stuff?
We won't be seeing that stuff. That's
Okay.
further. That's well into Oklahoma.
It's outside of Tishomingo.
Yeah, I still want to figure out a way to do something formal up there someday. Haven't put those pieces together, but this will be a really cool route. Brand new hosting facility. A lot of the route is the same as the rat, so it's one of our rat loops, but a lot of it's, the other side's completely different. So that's the general concept of it, but we're staging from the community center in Whitesboro that has a full kitchen and a big seating event center inside, but we also have a picnic area outside.
Very cool.
So if you were available, I was wanting to see if you wanted to cook for this thing in some form or fashion.
100%. 2 questions.
Yep.
You have pictures of the kitchen?
No, I do not, but I can get them within a couple weeks. It's a full commercial kitchen.
I know, but I'd still like to see. I
get it.
love pictures of kitchens, but it also gives me an idea of what I'm working with or not working with.
Understood.
And then when you say large seating, like roughly how many seats? How many asses can we put in seats? 50 to 100?
We could do that. I think I'm only asking for 40 or 50 seats because they'll be spread out over not everybody will be there at one time.
Sure.
But
And how many people are you hoping to have at the event?
somewhere between 100 and 200 is my guess.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
So, but that's my question. Would you rather cook for everybody on a fairly
Yes.
simple? Okay. All right. All right. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm going out on a flyer on this. I'm going out on a flyer. So I need the meal itself to be economical. I will.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for everybody.
Could be. It's going to be dealer's choice.
They'll be gourmet though.
It'll be dealer's choice.
Okay.
I can assure you, at the very least, your day rate and food will be covered on my end.
Okay.
But I haven't built food into the pricing structure. It's our regular pricing and my regular discounts for Club Spinistry members and things like. So it's not like, I'm not saying this is what I would have preferred you did. I was like, if you would have said you would rather serve 25 people, then I would have done that as an add-on for these 25 people, an extra $50 or whatever. I'm just numbers. If you want to just feed everybody, I just want to keep it simple and say, all right, we'll get enough people there. It's going to cover Brad and the cost of the food. I'm fine with that. But for that to happen, it can't cost me $25 a head per person for food, sort of thing. That's all I'm getting at.
We can.
I'm just dealer's choice. You figure out what is.
We won't show behind the curtain too much on the show, but I think we can make everybody's wishes come true.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so you heard it here first. Butterfield Buster featuring Feed for Everyone, lunch for everyone from Chef Brad Green and Bam. I'm excited.
I mean, I think we can do something really fun, and I always like to lean into the weather too. So, weather's always
always a factor.
And believe it or not, when I'm creating menus, I'm always looking at what's the weather going to be that day.
Sure.
Like if it's going to be cold, like for my 9 courses, for example, if it's going to be cold, I always start warm and end warm. If it's going to be hot, I always start cold and end cold.
Hypothetically speaking, what's your schedule like next week, during the week?
From about Wednesday on, I'm going to be pretty tied up.
Okay.
I typically, my typical dinner week is I podcast on Wednesday, go shopping on Wednesday, begin prep on Thursday, and then I do, I'd say like a fourth of my prep on Thursday.
Okay.
And then I do the bulk of my prep on Friday, and then I finalize my prep on Saturday, and then execute everything Saturday night. As you remember, I mean, I don't have a team, an army of cooks. It's me.
Understood.
And my set of hands that is Paula, my sous chef. So it's a production. What are you looking for? Other than 6 loaves of sourdough and butter?
Well, hypothetically,
Mm-hmm.
we could hop in Spinistry Mobile and go up to Whitesboro, and you can see the kitchen in person and also scout some of the route. And maybe that gives you some ideas just by looking at the route
Yeah.
for menu ideas or concepts or things like that as well.
I could do that Monday, Tuesday-ish.
I should be able to do that Monday.
And we
Tuesday.
could even do a podcast in conjunction.
And that way you're free all day Wednesday for.
I like that.
I'm assuming you would rather do Monday-ish to not conflict with TNSS.
Affirmative.
Pencil in Monday.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Just got to run it past Marissa.
I gotta run it past my boss
Yeah.
too, but that should be viable.
Sorry, that was an old school reference.
I don't know it.
The movie Old School.
Which one's old school? Remind me.
Will Ferrell,
Oh, yeah.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah. Okay, I remember.
Wilson.
That's one of my concussion head things. It came back.
Yeah.
It came back.
So I can't help but think February 21st could be cold.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. So we got to make it inviting for those that might be put off by the cold.
Right. And obviously we'll serve something hearty. And if you're going to have like 200 people, we'll have to do something, that we'll have some options for people that are picky or have intolerances such as gluten or vegetarian. I can accommate that.
Okay.
I just need to have a feel of what percentage, or I can just make an educated guess.
Yeah, usually it's fair to say the combination of gluten-free and I'm going to say vegetarian. I'm not going to lean into vegan.
Like Carl.
But I guess, if you go full vegan, you're going vegetarian at that point, right?
No. Vegan and vegetarian, not the same.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But vegan takes care of a vegetarian.
100%.
That's all I'm saying. A vegetarian does not take care of a vegan.
Fair.
That's all I was trying to say. I'm not saying you should go vegan. I'm just saying it rarely is. It's not as common for vegan to be thrown into the mix.
Yeah.
Between gluten-free and vegetarian, it's usually less than 10%.
Okay. That's fair. So, I mean, I'm just thinking, not that this is what we're going to serve, but if we did some kind of braised meat tacos with all the fixings and maybe even rice and beans, I could offer a vegetarian option for tacos, and then we'd be doing corn tortillas anyway, so those are gluten-free. So that kind of fills the niche, and, we could do something fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We will pencil that out.
Mm-hmm.
Butterfield Buster, February 21st. It's going to be a good one. Great route, really cool venue, and Chef Brad's food. So I'm excited.
And Whitesboro is just a pretty area that hasn't been overtaken just yet.
Not yet. Well, I think this is why we scout.
Yeah. Things
do change. I haven't been on these routes proper in probably close to a year. Rat time, we were on a good bit of it. So actually the non-rat part. So I don't think major changes, but I do want to fine tune the route.
Major changes.
Salute. What else is going on?
Just trying to get my fitness back. Just trying to get back in the habit of riding my bike every day. And I want to attribute it to trying to get over the flu, but like last night I rode once again. Well, I rode by myself because I got there late because I was on the phone for 2 hours with customer support. So I rode by myself. Didn't feel like I was really pushing it, but my average heart rate was like 158 and max was like 176. And I still turned out a super slow time for the east side. backwards, albeit, but I also did encounter a lot of traffic. And because I was going opposite direction, I yielded to everybody that I came in contact with. And I don't know if that affected my overall time.
I'm sure it did.
And I also wrecked, which is always a surprise. I clipped a tree with my left hand, and it just threw me on my side, bruised my buttock, and got a couple of scratches, tiny little scratches. But I was fortunate that it wasn't worse than it was, because like I said, I was riding by myself. And it was all the way at it was literally 10 feet from where you turn around to start heading back to Mad.
Of course it was.
So,
have you been doing your daily riding?
No, it's we talked about this before. When you get out of a routine, it's very hard to get back into it.
Yep. And I'm in the middle of that myself.
Yeah.
I gotta change it.
Yeah.
I got to.
And I have optimism of going riding today, even with as windy as it is, just to get out for an hour and spin the legs. And I have no ambition of going out and killing it, especially with the wind. Just to go out and ride for an hour, but I need to start doing, some 3 and 4 hour rides. And I want to, this year, I want to intentionally pepper in some intensity. I feel like I was very lacking on that last year. I think I got wooed into, and it was a misunderstanding on my part, or maybe intentional misinterpretation, but I leaned into zone 2 way too much, and I think that was to a detriment as far as me personally.
Possibly.
I think I did way too much zone 2 and not enough polarized intensity rides. I've never been a
did you zone 2 when you TNS-ing last year, or
no? That's impossible.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So technically speaking, that should have covered your
Yeah, but
polarization.
that's once a week, And then my Sunday rides are generally not zone 2 unless I'm in really good shape and I'm riding with people that I'm catering to.
I'm just saying. I think you weren't lacking on polarity. I could be wrong.
That's fair.
We definitely need to book a session with Austin.
Yeah.
He won't be able to join us on Monday, but
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, why are you speaking for him? That is a big time commitment for him.
Can you see Austin spending a whole day with us?
He would stab our eyes out.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair.
But maybe it'd be.
But tell us if we're wrong, Austin.
Yeah, Austin, let us know. But all right, Austin, I'm putting this out there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the week after the Texas Chainring Massacre would be a good time to talk to him. So,
After he wins?
I didn't say that.
I did.
I'm not putting pressure on him.
You think he's going to be on the 32?
I would love to hear his thoughts on 32.
I would too. I know for a fact he has an opinion.
Oh, there's no doubt.
But and I'm inclined to think that his first thought is, that's stupid.
All right. So the 24th, you have a dinner. I have the Chainring Massacre. The next week, you don't have a dinner on the 31st, right?
Negative.
So you're a little more flexible. So if we have to go Austin, you tell us what day.
100%.
So Austin, you tell us what day after the 24th, and we'll have an Austin.
I can't wait.
Episode 130. No, that'll be 131.
Are you sure this is 129?
I'm 90% sure. Maybe down to 85% sure now. Down to 70, the way you phrase that.
Well, you're right, because 128. Yeah, 128 was our last. So this is 129.
This is 129. This is actually 120. This is almost 130 in a way.
Yeah.
Oh, so I am going to bring the one thing back up that we talked about that didn't get recorded. The Kona Unity.
Oh, yes. Yeah, let's get back into that, because that definitely is worth.
That's worth discussion.
Yeah.
So Kona has come out, or is about to come out, with a new bicycle. It was released. It got leaked. It got pulled back, but there's, it's on the internet, so it's still there. A bike packing oriented hardtail mountain bike
With a crazy front triangle.
with a crazy trapezoid triangle with 30 bosses in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's for bolt-in bags, obviously. But we mentioned this before. Sorry for all the coughing. Salsa came out with a bike packing specific bike that had a very similar
Similar
triangle.
frame. And I think it started with a C, but I can never remember the name of it. But I'm not too worried about it. So it's a mullet setup,
Yes.
smaller rear wheel.
Backed with a 29.3 on the front and a 29 by 3 inch and a 27.5 by 3 in the rear.
So 3-inch tires, but just slightly smaller. And the thing that I really liked about it, it has the head tube mounted front rack.
Yes.
So the bag doesn't.
Bag support.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a rack per se or if it's just a bag support. It's hard to see from a profile pic.
I think it was a rack, but I'm not positive of that.
Let's see if this brings.
So I'm very interested in it. Want to hear more.
No longer available.
Yeah. But I also said that about the Ouroboros thing that came out when they supposedly went out of business and then came back. I haven't heard any more about that since then. So
But let us not forget, Kona folded up shop too and then came back.
that's what I just said.
Oh.
The
yeah.
Ouroboros was a Kona bike.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Sorry, I was doing other stuff.
Also along those
Utility
lines,
rack.
supposedly YT may be coming back, possibly. I saw an interesting little blurb from, I guess it was Zinc, is the guy that,
Cam Zink?
yeah,
He's the Rampage guy.
believe so.
Yeah. He owns a huge place out in Utah and puts on all that.
Well, he was the one that brought YT to the United States, and
I didn't know that.
he was the nationwide distributor of it. That when they came here in 14, 15 or whatever,
Yeah,
he started that distribution network, and he was YT North America.
I did not realize that.
And I saw a little interview with him, gave a really interesting. So basically, I don't want to oversimplify it, but my takeaway, and if I misinterpreted, it's on me. I'm not. Basically, they gave him the North American franchise. He got it going here, and then they kind of came in and backdoored him, pulled the rug on him to some extent, and then they went out of business. So he's not too hurt.
See, in the South, we call that they crawfished him.
But he has started his own Zinc bike brand now. So it was his perspective on the history of YT North America was interesting.
I'd love to see that video.
I will see if I can find it
That
and
would be
send
rad.
it your way. I will have to check my histories on that.
Yeah, I'm admittedly out of touch with the full suspension big hit bike industry news. In fact, I only watched like highlights and stuff of Rampage this past year.
It's not on my radar at all.
It's so unrelatable to me because it's mind-blowing the stuff that those guys do. I mean, obviously when I watch the Lifetime Grand Prix, the efforts those guys do is mind-blowing to me too, but it's a fitness thing at that point. Like, I've got all the skills they have as far as handling and tactics and stuff. I just don't have the fitness. But when I watch Rampage and stuff, it is so beyond my understanding that it's hard for me to relate, if that makes sense. I'm in absolute awe of it, and I give those guys nothing but praise. But it's
like me and salsa dancing compared to my traditional break dancing that I do so well.
when you whip out the cardboards.
Hey, and I saw a blurb this morning. No details. Evidently, Fuji is gone.
That's not surprising.
Not a big shock. Again, don't know all the details, but evidently that's the way.
Wait, Fuji is gone, but Mongoose is still around?
I mean, Mongoose is a Walmart brand. Has been forever, right?
Yeah.
So
They got relegated in football terms.
I mean, the name exists. Oh,
but it's a shell of what it used to
so
be.
okay, we're gonna go back in the Wayback Machine of what wasn't recorded because we had a really long, pointless discussion about AI and how Brad's not using it all, making a point not to use it, and how I have incorporated it into my business as an assistant per se. Something that actually the AI was extremely useful for me on. I had a trademark issue that I had to deal with. And that
Against you or with somebody else?
it's convoluted. I was actually tagged.
Don't incriminate yourself.
I was accidentally tagged on a Facebook post where they tagged Spinistry, and they were, intending for somebody else to see the message. So basically, I'm not going to go into detail on it, but there's
Somebody else
somebody
using
else
your name?
out there that's operating with Spinistry as part of the label.
Now, to be fair, Spinistry's not trademarked, is it?
Well, then we're getting there.
Oh,
It was,
by you?
yes. I trademarked it way back in the beginning of it.
Huh.
So what had happened was
It lapsed?
it's not lapsed per se. It is a complicated process.
How long is the trademark good for?
It's basically forever. Basically forever.
But then I'm confused because you said it was trademarked.
What if you would let me tell my
But I
story?
love stepping on your story.
If you would let me explain
hobby of
myself,
mine.
you do it so well.
know.
It's not a hobby. It's a profession.
It's a TNSS trademark. It's ingrained.
So, it was one of the first things I did was trademark Spinistry. At my website creator's encouragement, that was one, you need to trademark this.
That's a chess move.
And so that was actually probably my first expense with the business was to trademark the term Spinistry. And to the best of my understanding, I mean, I paid the money for it. I talked to the trademark office, the attorney, months later, and everything was working fine. To the best of my knowledge, it was trademarked. And it showed as trademarked. In a few years ago, I was contacted by somebody that asked permission because I also have the business name registered in Texas. And I was asked by somebody else in Texas that was doing something else that they had come up with the term Spinistry for what they were doing. And it was indoor cycling related. I'll just leave it at that. And they said, well, we're not really overlapping, but Texas says I need to reach out to you to get permission. It's like, no, that's too close. I'm not going to get permission.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the end of it. And at that time, I was like, you know what? Let me check. Because this person didn't say anything about my trademark. So I checked the status of my trademark then. And what had happened was, and this is very common.
What happened was?
This is very common with trademarks, is that years later, there can be a follow-up request of some sort from the Patent and Trademark Office, and it's not uncommon for people to not get it in the mail or the email goes to spam. And so if you don't know to act on it, then it automatically
Lapses.
what do they call it?
Expired.
It's status dead, something else, abandoned. I think abandoned and dead. So technically, it's not a registered trademark at that point. At first, I panicked, and I was like, I did some research then, and it was like, yeah, technically that's the way it works. But if you've registered it in the past and you've been operating under that trademark, basically you have
The right to forfeit.
you have the right. You should still have first claim on it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So it was never a big. It's like, okay, so it's kind of a technicality for me to. I have to submit the information again and pay the fees again and do all that all over again. And it was like, there's really nothing.
Is this hundreds of dollars or thousands
Hundreds.
of dollars?
Hundreds.
I'm
And
just curious. I've never trademarked anything.
basically a base fee of $350, but you can have add-ons for different things depending on different directions you go and so forth.
So you need to, in the process, redesign your logo to have the little TM on it, just to be.
That doesn't
asshole.
really do anything.
I know, but it would be funny.
What?
Be tongue in cheek, kind of.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
So So I knew my trademark had lapsed, for lack of a better term, but I also knew that it was a formality, it was a technicality sort of, so I wasn't too worried about it. And it was like, yeah, if it ever comes down to it, I will win any argument, and I can, if somebody else tries to trademark it, the trademark office is going to see that and deny it and all that. So I wasn't too worried about it. So I got tagged indirectly or accidentally on a Facebook post where somebody was tagging somebody else for Spinistry, and I followed that post. It's like, well, this wasn't meant for me. And there's another outfit that's operating, not doing what I'm doing, but it is semi-cycling related. And
Where boots?
I don't want to go there. I don't want to.
Is it in the United States?
Yes.
Is it close to us?
That's all relative because Spinistry is nationwide at this point.
That's fair. Well, home base is Texas.
No,
Okay.
It's not in Texas.
Okay.
I don't want people digging around and trying to. Nobody say anything.
Internet sleuthing is going to happen.
I understand, but nobody do anything. Seriously, I'm not trying to create trouble for these people.
We're not trying to create an internet.
I'm fine with them doing what they're doing. I'm just securing my rights at this point. And so I looked at that, and it's not a big deal, but I saw a picture on their page of somebody with a shirt with not my font, but just a Spinistry. But they have TM at the end of it, which I know isn't true, but it's also makes it clear to me that they know I exist. How can they not know I exist? How can they not know I exist? Because I have every Spinistry.com, .net,
simple Google search would return
every social media Spinistry is me and everything like that. So there's no doubt there. And it's like, I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to, it just kind of, it's like, why are they putting that TM on there? They know that's not true. And I did reach out to my AI collaborator, my AI assistant, and walk through the process of what I was seeing. And it reinforced my understanding of where I was from a legal perspective. I don't think it was an echo chamber. Just, that's the way I understood it.
I guess there's nothing preventing them from putting TM on their logo.
Anybody,
even though it's not trademarked. But that's an interesting flex.
Interesting is a good way to put it. I'm not going to assume why or how. And again, I'm not criticizing them. It's just, okay. So
you can say you're not criticizing, but you're criticizing.
I'm not. I thought it was interesting that they put the TM on there. And if someday we end up having a discussion about it, I'll find out why. I don't think it's going to be necessary.
Speaking of which, the ShiftLess name and logo is not trademarked. And I have gotten pictures from people randomly of other people wearing ShiftLess shirts.
With our logo?
No, not with our logo, just with the name.
Okay.
And if memory serves me, it had nothing to do with cycling. I can't remember what it was in relation to.
Okay.
But
and have you verified that the ShiftLess is not trademarked? Have you verified that?
Oh, did you trademark it?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm asking, have you verified that?
I don't know.
Understood.
I don't even know how all this shit works. I'm just trying to figure out how to boil water better.
So the end result of my AI collaboration was that I did opt to go ahead and spend the money to re-register Spinistry. I was still not a necessity, but it's kind of we're at better safe than sorry point of things, because I think after 15 years plus, it's probably safe to assume that I'm going to stick with the Spinistry name. But also as a result of that was, I think maybe we should register ShiftLess as well. I think maybe we should, but that will be an investment of at least $350.
Okay.
So not a requirement, but we can.
So here's a guy that just started a show called ShiftLess. This last year, 2025, and episode 1 came out November 15th, 2025.
Okay.
ShiftLess, episode 1, pilot.
Okay. And what's his? It's a podcast, so that is a conflict.
I don't think it's a podcast.
Oh.
Is it? Yeah, it looks like a podcast format.
So technically speaking, maybe the trademark would come in.
Or maybe it's more of a variety show.
I don't know. And so that could.
But here's his Instagram. I know we waited a while to post about the show on Insta, but we just wanted to thank everyone for all of the support on the first 2 episodes of ShiftLess. He's calling it hashtag ShiftLess. I don't think anybody involved inspected anything close to the responses received. It's pretty overwhelming, but of course we feel incredibly blessed by the love. So let's go back and look. Trade.
Just do USPTO trademark search.
USPTO search. And just click on this?
Yep.
Okay.
And then trademark search system, that big green button right there, and type in ShiftLess.
It was already selected, and I deselected it. Dead.
But here's a
ShiftLess.
live and registered one. What's a
Sweaters,
Sweaters.
tuners, ponchos, distributorship services, and shiftless bastards. Dead and abandoned. Shiftless bastards, shifty bastards.
So like if we did ShiftLess for podcasts,
or just shiftless podcast.
well, you have to a business category.
Oh yeah,
So
I got you.
So it would be, would it be educational? Would it be broadcast? I don't know. Those are the levels of detail that
Yeah.
the AI came in handy to. This is the category you want, and once you're in that category, you have to give a description that applies to your business on a specific basis.
Yeah, you have
So
to
it gave-
specify. It's much like patents.
It gave me specific language that was appropriate for Spinistry and what we do in Spinistry, a global thing of cycling, but particularly in these areas sort of thing. So the AI gave, it simplified that process, and it also looked at my old registration and said, oh, I understand why you chose that category, but this would have been a better one for you to have done on the front end, and you may not have run into your issue sort of thing. So I would do, in this case, personally, I would do the same thing on, hey, we're thinking about registering ShiftLess trademark. What category and what verbiage, and it would, I would likely lean on that recommendation
Yeah.
once I verified it,
Yeah.
sort of thing. But again, we don't have to, but it may be, again, since there's another broadcasting entity trying to operate under that name,
Yeah.
that could create a conflict,
Sure.
sort of thing.
Yeah, I didn't think about all the implications. I just thought it was interesting. Somebody sent me a picture of a guy with a shiftless shirt on, completely different font and everything else. And I want to say it was,
The trademark's the word, not the logo.
yeah, it might have been pocket knife related or something.
So,
like
and
that.
that's the thing. So like this is apparel or whatever else. They can trademark ShiftLess for,
Duluth Holdings, Wisconsin.
okay, they can trademark it for that purpose.
Sure.
And we can trademark it for broadcasting purposes or podcasting or whatever the appropriate
Yeah.
business category would be. And there can be 2 different ShiftLess trademarks, but not in the same business category.
That's fair.
It's
Okay.
where where it can be misconstrued that people would confuse whether that, it's like you can have Yeti bicycles and Yeti coolers,
Yeah.
for example. 2 totally different industries.
Yeah.
Both good products.
Yeah. Sounds like a lot of bureaucracy and nonsense.
I understand. And that's another piece of it. If you're not terribly, attached to the ShiftLess name, then it's nothing to worry about, because if somebody else does, if this guy does register it and tries to say, you can't use it anymore because I registered it,
That's my only concern.
well, it could happen. That's where the trademark comes in.
So maybe we should move to trademark it so we can keep our original name. I
I think that's what I've been saying.
Sorry, I'm slow on the pickup.
So,
I told you I'm trying to get my fitness back.
I am as well. You know the best way to do that?
Ride your damn bike.
Go ride your bikes. Let's hang it up.
Let's.